We're here to cap the season with NCCU head coach Trei Oliver. Coach, before we take that big picture look back at the season, if we could, let's look back to Saturday, another dramatic overtime win. Sent the seniors out on a high note. If you could just go over that game for us as you look back to Saturday.
Well, we challenged the guys this past week about, let's win the first quarter, because the last couple of weeks we've been down in the first quarter and had to come back. So we came out offensively. We didn't come out as strong as I wanted us to, but we made a play in the kicking game and scored off a block punt. And unfortunately, came back and we gave up a big, huge kickoff return that set up another score after that. Went back and forth. I thought we, struggled running the football against them. They played with load the box with 8 or 9 guys, which we knew they were going to do, but didn't run the ball as well as we would like. Missed a bunch of shots. We tried to, go over top quite a few times with Ryan and McDaniels and Andrew Smith, and we didn't connect on those. But we settled down, and again, our guys, they just kept fighting. We come back in. We were up at halftime, and I thought we did a really good job of executing that 2-minute drive right before the half. But I told the guys at halftime, these guys were down 26-0 against Norfolk. They're going to come out the locker room fighting, and they did. They scored 14 in the third quarter, and I think the play that really sparked us was the fumble that was recovered by Chidi, and that kind of got things going. So obviously the game went into overtime, and our guys executed. We had a huge blocked field goal by B. Codrington, and I thought we sealed it there. Hudson scooped it and scored, and they called us for a clipping, blocked below the waist. And one of our guys was giving great effort, pushed one of our own players down. Their guy tripped over our guy, they throw the flag. But it was great to see our guys, be able to go out like that, send the seniors out with the win. It was, I guess, the best part of the day was being able to send Dr. Wicker McCree out on her last football game, with the win. And she's done so much for our football program here over the years. That was just a good to, be able to send her out with the seniors on a good note.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a moment. You brought her into the locker room and presented her with the game ball. Why was that important for you to do?
Well, I've known Dr. McCree since I was a freshman here at North Carolina Central, and we've had a close relationship since 1998. When I got into the coaching profession, she gave me some pointers at her being a former coach, and then later in my career, when I thought about possibly being a head coach, she kind of walked me through that process. Things I need to do. You need to go get a master's. You need to get coordinator experience, and then when the job came open here, I had the opportunity to be one of the finalists, and it was just a pleasure. Knowing her, having a personal relationship, having a professional relationship, and then be able to work for her here at North Carolina Central. So she means the world to me. She means the world to this program. And, she's a great person. She's truly going to be missed.
And also the team just had that opportunity to celebrate a win and, again, send the seniors out. But how important is that to build momentum as you go into the offseason when you finish the season with 3 straight wins for the first time in 4 years?
I mean, that's huge. When we started off the season, a lot of folks were looking at us a little cross-eyed and everything about, what's going on. And we didn't panic. The coaching staff didn't panic. We just kept working, stayed the course. We made some adjustments with personnel when guys went down. But when I talked all year about these guys being resilient, and we just keep fighting, and week by week, we continue to improve. And that was one big thing during the season. At the end of the season, a lot of guys just try to make it through the season, and they're just waiting for the season to end. Our guys were really out there practicing hard, trying to get better all the way to the last week. And I think it showed and it paid off. But obviously it shows that we're going in the right direction. And we had a lot of young guys step up late in the season. And, for us to finish second in the conference behind a very good South Carolina State team, I think it's a lot to build on. And it'll help us with recruiting. We had about 80 recruits at the game Saturday. And just overall, just the feeling behind the program.
Great. Our first question is from Lawrence Davis. Go ahead, Lawrence.
Hey, Coach. Good afternoon. How are you doing today?
I'm well, Lawrence. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I just wanted to talk to you about your progression as a coach over the last 2 or 3 years. Obviously, your program is starting to move in the right direction, but what does that say about you? How are you starting to find a rhythm or identity as a head coach?
That's a great question. And in 2019, I was fortunate enough prior to coming here, excuse me, to be a part of a lot of really good programs, be on a lot of really good programs. And when you come in, you take over a program, you think you're gonna have instant success, 9, 10, 11 wins. And 2019 was a humbling experience. And after 19, you had to kind of look back and reflect. And I think when we talk about the process, part of the process is being patient and sticking to the course. And I was patient after COVID and throughout this year. And you don't panic, you don't get frustrated, although you have goals in mind, but you just stay the course. And I think I was a little more patient this year. Now, obviously, I think it's things that I can improve on. I think that, it's a lot of areas that we can improve on this offseason. So the same way I'll evaluate our coaches, our players, and all areas of our program, I'm gonna sit down and, evaluate myself. And I'll sit down with our administration, George Bulldog Smith. And, he travels with us every game. So he sees a lot of what's going on day to day. So I will definitely, it starts with me. I'll definitely work to see where I need to improve.
And just to follow up real quick, I know this group really isn't talked about that much, but your offensive line, you guys battled through so much adversity this year, whether it was injury or penalties or conditioning or whatever, but somehow, some way, as the season went on, they found a way to get it done. Can you talk a little bit about that group and the growth you saw this season?
Well, Coach Williams did a really good job with keeping those guys together because they had expectations and that's a prideful group. And when you have a couple of guys go down that are starters and, guys that are leaders, you need other guys to step up. And I thought like midway in the season, those guys started questioning themselves a little bit, that group. And I think Coach Williams did a really good job, and Coach Leone, our offensive coordinator, of rallying behind them. And, we talk about being great, and it starts with belief. And you have to believe in yourself, and you have to believe in your teammates. And although, after that little 3 or 4 how many game losing streak we had, I thought, at times guys kind of questioned a little bit. And we had to go back to the basics, guys. You just got to believe in yourself and be great. But you look to the last game of the season, and we had 2 penalties. And, we had double-digit penalties, man. We were getting triple doubles out here. Lavelle Moten could have used some of our guys, but our guys, they continue to fight back, and we had some down the line guys play, and they played well.
Cool, thank you.
Our next question is from a special guest, Jonas Pope. Jonas, go ahead.
Who?
What's up, Coach Oliver? Huge fan over here, man. Huge fan.
Where's the camera, man?
Hold up.
Oh my goodness. We have a celebrity special guest here. How we doing?
I'm good. How are you? Congratulations on all your success this year.
Man, I appreciate it, man. We miss you over here, man.
I miss you guys too. I tell Cal that all the time. I do have a question for real though. You came in 2019, and you guys missed a year. I don't know what the timetable usually is for turning around a program and getting them back on the right track, but in your eyes, you guys are ahead of schedule, right on schedule. What would you kind of assess the timetable for you guys getting back to the winning tradition at Central High?
Well, we got the winning tradition back, and that was one after 4 years. We finally had a winning season, and I said, it was good. I just got a staff meeting with the guys, and I said, guys, that's good, but that's nothing I'm gonna brag about or stick my chest about being 6-5. That's nowhere near where I think we need to be or where we're capable of being. 4-1 the conference is pretty good, but we had to do a lot better, and obviously in our non-conference games. But as long as you see an improvement, I think that's really my measuring stick with that. I can't really put a number of wins on there, but every week we want to improve. Every year, obviously, we want to improve. And with as much youth as we have in our program, I think the sky's the limit. So let me not say that because I know how you are, Jonas. As long as you see improvement week by week, man, I think that's the biggest thing. And with the young guys that we have in here, I'm really pleased with the direction we're heading. Jonas get me off script, Kyle. Jonas had me talking about flowers and gardening and all sorts of stuff. So I had to be careful with Jonas, man. We've been on point. We've been on, time schedule, been able to get JB and those guys over these other schools.
All right, let's go back to our next question with Todd Gibson. Go ahead, Gibby.
All right, let's get this back on the right script here, Coach. What's the week after practice like when the season ends for the players? I remember when my season ended, you're kind of depressed. You don't know what to do. You're supposed to be at practice. What's it like for the guys? Do you have a kind of a direction for the underclassmen to go in now that the season is over? And do the guys get a little, depressed after the season's over because there's just no more football?
Well, I don't think so, because it's going to be plenty of stuff to do here in the weeks coming up. Right now, for our student athletes, it's all about finishing strong academically. We will not touch them anymore for the rest of the semester. It's all about, it won't be any weightlifting or anything like that going on, any conditioning. It's all about finish up their work, their assignments, being ready and prepared for these final exams. And then we'll get with them again in January. But obviously, as a coaching staff, we'll spend this week right here closing out the season. We'll handle our evaluations, and then next week we'll be full-fledged recruiting. And then I'll start with the quality control of the program. But for the staff, it's all about recruiting. We'll have our first official visit date December the 3rd. And I'll be out, as soon as Thanksgiving break is over with, I'll be out making home visits.
Coach, as you look back on the season, how would you define this 2021 team? It seems like every team has kind of an identity. How would you define this year's squad?
Man, resilient, tough. This is a tough group, man, that will not quit. And I say it, but it's been games, man, that we need to figure out a play, and it's back and forth, nip and tuck, and or we might be down a score or two. And, you need somebody to, give you a spark. The coach is calling out all they can do. The coordinator's trying their best to call plays. And, Coach Leone came out the box last week against Norfolk State when we were down. He said, man, after the first quarter, he threw his call sheet away. So he was just calling off the top of his head. Nothing that he called was working. So, we just had to figure out, give the guys an opportunity to make plays, and they made them. And they made them at opportune times throughout the year. And I just think they're a resilient group and a tough group. And this is one of the best teams, not record-wise, but one of the best teams that I've been a part of.
And are there a few moments that happened this year, whether on or off the field, that you feel helped define that team and that identity?
Well, I tell you one, man, that really stood out to me was Marshall game. We're getting beat by probably about 35 points against Marshall. It's the very end of the fourth quarter, probably about a minute and 30 seconds left. And Marshall goes with a 2-minute drive. They go no huddle, up tempo. And I think they were trying to score 50 on us. So fourth down, they're going for it inside our, the red zone. And these guys could have looked at the scoreboard and saw, hey, look, man, it's 45-10 ball game. We're not going to win the game, and gave up. But these guys kept fighting. And that was one moment, I think, throughout this season where these guys could have, they could have let Marshall score. And they didn't. And we bowed our neck. The guys played the next play. We got to stop. And I was so proud of them, because when people try to embarrass you, at some point when they have you back in that corner, either you're going to give up or you're going to fight. And these guys fought. And that was like really the first time you saw that. And then when they really had our backs in the corner. And then from there, that kind of carried over throughout the rest of the season. We came up short against South Carolina State, but we battled them. We fought against Morgan. We battled against Norfolk. We battled against Delaware State. So I'm just so proud of these guys.
There were certainly a bunch of seniors that played key roles this year, but you also had a lot of key playmakers that were freshmen and sophomores. And what does that say about the outlook of this program in the next few years?
Man, I'm so excited. I mean, because we have freshmen and sophomores that are showing up in the stats and making big plays. You all continue to ask me every week about the Smith, Devin and Andrew, and the Cole Jones of the world. And I mean, it's just so many young guys, the Torselli Simpkins of the world. I mean, just so many guys that are stepping up, that are making plays, that are young. And I mean, you look out here, we have good program guys. There's guys that we thought were decent players and everything, but we're gonna be down the line guys. You look this weekend, we have Marcellus Miller come up probably the biggest play with the block punt. And he's a walk-on freshman. And he accepted his role. He gets better every week. He's a great young man. And you know, he had a huge block kick that got us the first score in the game. So when you have some talent and you have guys that understand roles, especially at a young age, I think you have a chance.
What do you need to do from here to build on this momentum?
We cannot get complacent. As soon as we come back, we got to get to work. And we had a team meeting with the guys on Sunday. You know, my wife was looking at me crazy. She said, "Y'all going in the office on Sunday?" I said, "Yeah, we got to watch film and grade the film and, you know, put this game behind us. The guys have to go to doctor's clinic and we had to meet." So, you know, we're not going to get complacent, and we see the areas that we need to improve on. And the guys saw how close we were. And, you know, it came down to we needed some help. And hopefully next year we'll be able to win a championship without relying on anybody else to win or lose a game.
And this is a bit off script, but tomorrow morning, you're going to be going to the grocery store and buying some groceries for some families in need for the holiday. Why is that important to you?
Well, you know, our motto here is truth and service at the university. And I think that I've been truly blessed, and a lot of our players have been blessed. And when you have an opportunity to give back to the community, I think it's special. And our young men here, I think with us setting this up and my director of football operations, Travis Taylor, helping spearhead this, it also shows these young men in the program, you know, sometimes you have to give back and try to help some people out. And your situation does not define you. Some people run up on tough times and just in a little rut, need some help. So we did adopt 5 families. We also have a nonprofit organization coming in. And so we'll take 5 families out and we're going to fill their grocery cart up with, I think each family's going to get about $300 or $400. So we're excited about that.